Hey there, welcome to Amazing Physics. Today we're going to talk about one of the most fundamental concepts in academia and science, research. If you're new to this concept, don't worry, we'll break it down for you. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of what research is, why it's important, and how it's done. So, let's get started. So, what is research? Research is a process of rigorous academic training at a higher level, which involves developing skills to think critically, analyze, investigate, set up experiments or surveys, conduct research, interpret findings, understand complex concepts, expand knowledge, reinforce existing theories, consolidate new ideas, improve existing methods, disprove hypotheses, integrate diverse perspectives, and work independently. Research involves a structured academic training process at an advanced level, followed by the formal documentation of findings through both oral and written communication, as well as a defense of the research. Publications may be concurrent with or subsequent to the research. However, research is not a finished product, although it may result in a finished product in many cases. But what does all of this mean in practice? Let's take a look at an example. In the 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted a famous research study on obedience to authority. He recruited participants to play the role of a teacher and administer electric shocks to a learner whenever they answered a question incorrectly. In reality, the learner was an actor and no shocks were actually administered, but the participants didn't know this. Milgram's study revealed that people were willing to administer increasingly high levels of electric shocks when instructed to do so by an authority figure, even if they believed it was causing harm to the learner. This study had important implications for our understanding of obedience and the power of authority. Now, you might be wondering, why is research so important? Well, research helps us make new discoveries, solve problems, and improve our lives. It allows us to learn about the world around us and make informed decisions based on evidence. Research is done in many different fields, from medicine and psychology to sociology and engineering. Without research, we wouldn't have many of the things we take for granted today, like vaccines, computers, and the internet. However, there are many misconceptions about research. Some people may think that research is only done in the hard sciences, when in reality it's done in many different fields. Others may think that research is just about collecting data, when in reality it involves many different skills and processes. Now, let's talk about the research problem and why it is crucial. Research is typically conducted in a vast ocean of information, where the depth and width of knowledge are infinite. To make the process manageable, researchers need boundaries or a focus point that can help them navigate the vastness of knowledge and guide their investigation. This is where research problems come in. A research problem is a clearly defined question or issue that a researcher seeks to investigate. It provides a focus point and helps the researcher to know where to start. Defining a research problem requires clarity of thought and direction, appropriate preparation and groundwork, and a willingness to pursue the research, since exploring an open space is very difficult if not impossible to all. Focusing on a research problem brings focus to the research effort. When a research problem is well defined, it becomes easier to develop a research plan, gather data, and analyze the results. In fact, a problem that is well or clearly defined is already more than half solved, and researchers can then focus on the routine working energy needed to complete the research. Are you a student or a researcher looking to identify a research problem or topic for your thesis or dissertation? Well, you're not alone. Many students and researchers struggle with this task, and it can be overwhelming. So, how can you identify a good research problem or topic? Let's first start by looking at some of the common but not recommended ways to identify a research problem. Firstly, some researchers choose to do what their guide or advisor asks them to do. While this may seem like a good idea, it can limit your creativity and ability to think critically. Secondly, some researchers may opt to do what their seniors or colleagues are doing, or something that is popular or fashionable. This approach may lead to a lack of originality and contribute little to the existing knowledge base. Thirdly, some may choose to do something that is likely to finish fast, like completing their research in order to collect their sixth pay. While it may be tempting, it could lead to incomplete or superficial research. Lastly, some researchers may copy from somewhere or choose to do something that is easy, like repeating their guide's work. This approach is unethical and may result in a poor quality research outcome. So, what's the best way to identify a good research problem or topic? Unfortunately, there is no one definitive answer. Many researchers face the same challenge. But don't worry, because in the upcoming video, I'm going to share with you some effective strategies to help you tackle this daunting task. By the end of the video, you'll have a clear idea of how to approach this important aspect of research. So, make sure to watch the video and learn how to identify a research problem or topic that is both meaningful and feasible. And if you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Amazing Physics for more educational videos on physics and research. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more exciting content.